Welcome back to my English Medical Lectures. I'm Aslack, second year MBBS student. When I joined first year of MBBS, I had no idea what to do because I came from a non-medical family. So I had no one to ask advices. So in this video, I try to give you, a set of things that I wished I knew at that time. Okay. So without wasting any time, let's get started. Talking about the college you're in. It may be a private college, it may be a government college, it may be a reputed college or a non-reputed college. Actually, it doesn't matter. That's the first thing. It doesn't matter which college you're right now. Never ever think that, and I'm in a non-reputed college, I'm in a private college, I cannot be a good doctor. No, that's wrong. Actually, undergraduate studies have very little impact on your overall success as a doctor. What depends or what defines you as a doctor is your own self-work. Talking about the academics, there are two kinds of students who come to the college to study and who come to the college to live. You know who wins in life? The one who comes to the college to live. MBBS is not about 24 hours of study. Now, MBBS is not hard. It's vast. That's the first thing you need to understand. It's not about studying 24 hours. No, it is about studying smart and understanding things rather than mugging them up. As the famous Dr. Gangadharan sir, who's a famous oncologist in India, have said in his video that
അതായത് ഒരു കോളേജ് ക്യാമ്പസിൽ വരുമ്പോൾ രണ്ട് തരം പിള്ളേരുണ്ടാവും. ഒന്ന് പഠിക്കാൻ വരുന്ന പിള്ളേർ, മറ്റേത് ക്യാമ്പസിൽ ജീവിക്കുന്ന പിള്ളേർ. We want people who live in the campus, not people who come to study in the campus. ആ ജീവിക്കുന്നവരെ ഇഷ്ടപ്പെടുകയുള്ളൂ, പഠിക്കുന്നവരെ ഇഷ്ടപ്പെടുള്ളൂ. പഠിക്കുന്നത് റാങ്ക് കിട്ടും, ചിലപ്പം they will be good, വലിയ കയറി പോകും. പക്ഷേ ജീവിതത്തിൽ അവർ വിജയിക്കില്ല. ഇതിൽ വിജയിക്കുന്നത് ക്യാമ്പസിൽ ജീവിക്കുന്നത് വിജയിക്കുള്ളൂ. അതിൻ്റെ എക്സാമ്പിൾ എന്താ വെച്ചാൽ, ആ ക്യാമ്പസിൽ ജീവിക്കുമ്പോൾ ക്യാമ്പസിലുള്ള എല്ലാ സംഭവത്തിൻ്റെയും പാട്ടായിരിക്കണം. You should be part and parcel of the campus.
So please live in the college rather than being a full-time study guy. Okay? How to study medicine? Well, the answer is very simple. You have to study smart instead of studying hard. Well, this may seem like a very obvious statement. No, but it's very important. I'll tell you how to do this. In medicine, it's 90% of self-study. There will be, some faculties who take the time and effort to make you understand things. But in most of the time, most of the faculties, they come with a PPT gun, and when you enter the class, they start shooting at you with their slides. It's full of slides everywhere. So if you try to take notes, you will fail. Because when you start writing notes, the slides will be going like hell and you cannot really concentrate. So when you go to the class, you will feel that the slides are going very fast. Almost all the colleges, the situation is like that. So never ever try to write everything from the slides into your notes. No, don't do that. Like when they're teaching something like nerve conduction or muscle relaxation, muscle contraction, you write down the headings. There is excitation, contraction, coupling. All those, you just write only the headings. So when you enter the class, listen to the class rather than trying to make all those lines in the PPT into a notebook. Don't do that. What I want you guys to do is enter into the class, listen in the class, write only the important headings in your notes, then go back to your room and then read that part from your textbook. I think that's the best approach to the question of how to study. So which books should I read? Now books is another dilemma that all the students have. Well, the idea is I'll try to make another video on it if God wills, but you can also refer to YouTube, internet to see all those recommendations. Whatever it is, try to stick on to standard books. Now referring to standard books is the best thing you can do in MBBS, because in first year there are a lot of shortcut books. There will be university preparation books, there will be previous year books. Actually, when you go, in the higher classes like first year, then go to second year or in final year, the number of books which are shortcut actually reduces in number. So if you abstain from reading standard textbooks, in the end or ultimately when you go for PG and all, you will only have standard textbooks to read. So if you make a habit of reading standard textbooks from first year itself, it will be a very useful habit for you and it will be a very useful quality that you can keep in your life. Try to understand things rather than mugging them up. For example, in iron deficiency anemia, total iron binding capacity increases while the amount of iron in the body decreases. What does that mean? Since the iron is decreasing, the body is trying to pick up more iron from the circulation, and that is why the total iron binding capacity increases. Even the capacity have increased, iron is not there, so TIBC increases, iron decreases in iron deficiency anemia. You can either understand the concept or try to mug all them up mugging up. Study consistently. Now, consistency is the key.
Without commitment, you'll never start. But more importantly, without consistency, you'll never finish.
There are two kinds of students actually. There are students who do it consistently, and there are students who only prepare for examinations at the brink of them. Like there are 1 month to examination or 2 months to the examination. They just put all in their effort and study all those previous year questions and they will pass. But MBBS is more than that. So try to put in consistent effort, and that will be higher yielding in the future. Use internet resources. For example, Dr. Najib's lectures or Armando, all those YouTube channels, they can be very helpful when you learn a topic, you don't understand it, you refer to the textbook, you don't understand it, then you can try YouTube or Google. There's a lot of websites, a lot of channels that give good quality content. So make sure that you use that also. Forgetting things. Now most of the students actually stress about it. Okay man, I studied everything, but when I look into it now, it completely looked new. It's like I have read this in the past month, and when I read it today, it feels like new. Well, that happens, and that's normal. If you're forgetting everything, your brain is working perfectly normal. That's the truth. So MBBS is vast, so you will forget things. So revision is a very important thing. Actually, revision is as important as learning a new thing. What is the point of learning a new thing if you're not revising it? Because ultimately you will forget it. So you learn it now. You put all in your effort, all your effort is given, and you learn that thing. Okay, I know it. 1 to 2 months, you don't touch it. The 3rd month, you read it again. It's completely new to you. Everything will be gone. So try to understand the concept, try to learn it by understanding, and then revise it. So revision is a very important thing. Now let's talk about some important mindsets that you need in MBBS. MBBS is the beginning, not the end. Now most students feel that when I join MBBS, I can take rest. Actually, it doesn't work that way. I know you all have that post-Neet syndrome where we have been preparing like hell for the Neet UG, and you enter the college, I want to take a rest. Well, I know that happens, and that's okay. For 1 to 2 months, you really don't feel like that, but it's okay. Try to get out of it as fast as you can, because the earlier you start, the better it is. So what I wanted to tell is MBBS is just the beginning. What do I mean by that? Well, it is just the foundation. Above that, you build up, your postgraduate studies, your super specializations, all those things. So MBBS is just the beginning. Your UG studies are just the beginning of a huge lifelong journey. And I think that doctors are lifelong learners. Respect and compassion. Respect and compassion is a very important aspect or a very important quality that as a medical student you need to have in your life. You know what a good doctor is? A good doctor should have a good knowledge, that is theoretical knowledge, then good practical knowledge, and most importantly, communication skills. So you have to be compassionate and you have to be talking to people. When you get into medical school, try to respect your teaching staff and also the non-teaching staff. There will be attenders in your dissection hall. There will be peons. There will be people who, clean the room, all those things. Try to smile, give them a smile. Be respectful to others. Never think that you are above someone, and never let pride get into yourself. That's very bad to have. So make sure that you're compassionate to people, you talk to people, you talk to your friends. That's the main thing you have to do. When you enter into college, for the first 2 to 3 weeks, try to be free. Don't stress out yourself. Just understand your college. Just be there. Just go with the flow. Just listen to the class. Just understand your hostel, how everything works. What is your routine? What is your schedule? Which is the nearest biryani center? Just try to learn all those things. Okay. Then after 2 to 3, 4 weeks, when you get imbibed into the atmosphere of the college, then you can start studying and all. Okay. That doesn't mean you should not touch your books, but don't believe that medicine is all about studying. No. I already told you, you should come to the college to live rather than to study. Stress exists. It's a bitter truth. We all get stressed. Sometimes we feel it's getting overwhelmed. It's okay. Mental health is a very important thing. So if you feel that you're getting overwhelmed, try to talk to someone. Please and please reach out to someone if you're not feeling okay. Never ever hesitate to ask for help. If you feel that you're not okay, try to reach out for help. Since I'm from Kerala, our university is Kerala University of Health Sciences. In their syllabus, there is a beautiful line. You should be able to see the human in the disease rather than the disease in the humans. When you enter the ward, there will be, one, two, a lot of patients all the side. And some may say, okay, that is an MI patient, that is heart attack. That is a CKD, a chronic kidney disease patient. This is how we become in medicine. Don't be that. When you look into this, actually what you're seeing is 6 different topics. And that is what the syllabus has said. Don't see the disease in the human, see the human in the disease. Actually, when you look into 6 bed, you're actually seeing CKD, MI, CLD, all those things. Instead, you should be able to see the human with the disease. And I know in first year, the clinical exposure will be a very less, but try to keep this in you. Okay, that's a very important mindset that you need to have. Marks don't make you a good doctor. Now, this is a very, 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 very important thing. Medicine is not about your marks, your scores, your ranks. No, it's much bigger than that. What makes you a great doctor is actually a combination of 3. Your theoretical knowledge, your practical knowledge, that is your practical skills, and finally your communication skills. Your marks doesn't really make you a great doctor. So stop focusing on university mark and start focusing on concepts. Try to understand things. Work on your communication skill. Communication skill is a very important thing a doctor needs. So talk to people, be part of all the extracurricular activities, try to speak to people, be compassionate. I'm repeating this, right? Be compassionate to people, and that can be a very good quality in your MBBS life. Seniors are very important, and I think that can be very helpful too, because the path you're about to walk, they already did that. They know your professors, they know your college, they know the university pattern, they know which are the important topics. I think better than Google and Quora and all those things, a good senior is a very great asset to have. Even in a higher, when you become a final year, that immediate senior will be house surgeon and he will tell you everything in clinics. So try to make as much friendships with seniors. That can help you a lot. Stop complaining. Now this is a very important character that you need to have. I told you that medicine is vast. Yeah, there's a lot to study. But you know what happens? Sometimes we get very late notification of an exam, or an exam may come the next week. You may not have prepared. So you can start complaining, oh, I never had any time, or madam, we don't have time, madam, all those things. You can keep on complaining. Stop it. I'll tell you something. You become a 3rd year student. You are having a night posting in the labor room. That is Monday night, you are having a labor room posting. Tuesday, you have internal examinations. Who will you complain to? This is what MBBS actually is. You need to stop complaining. You may have a lack of time, you may have lack of sleep, you may have lack of health. But medicine is like that. That is why I say that medicine is not easy, but it's beautiful. It's like having an affair, even at the cost of all those pain, we'll still need to keep it with us, right? So, stop complaining. Okay, do that. Be ready to fail. You may be a college topper, you may be a high school topper, you may be a kindergarten topper, you may be a higher secondary topper, but you may fail in the first internal examination, and that's perfectly alright. MBBS is different. The study methods and study techniques that you had in the past may not be working here. So don't get disheartened when you fail in the examination. Maybe you are an all-time topper, and when in the first internal you may fail. You may get 1 mark out of 20, 2 mark out of 50. It's completely normal. When such a thing happens, try to change your learning habits. Try to understand, why did you lose such mark? Am I studying things which are not important? Is my focus not right? Try to adapt and relearn. Okay, that's the next point. Adapt. MBBS is not like your high school and high secondary. You will invariably need to change your study habits, your study routines, your methods of revision, your methods of note taking. Be ready to change. Okay, and again, it's okay to fail. How to study for university examinations? Actually, I did a small video on it. You can find the link in the description. That is pertaining the Kerala University of Health Sciences. But I think there are some general points. You can refer to that. But generally speaking, your university will have a set of topics that are repeatedly tested. Yes. In medicine, for example, in your first year, you may have a long, 8 to 7 months, and then 2 to 3 months before examinations. In this time, that is 2 to 3 months just before examinations, you can refer those topics which are repeatedly tested in the university. But in this time, the majority of time, You should be focusing on all trying to understand things, making concepts clear, and try to read the textbook as much as you can. So when you near the examination, focus on the repeatedly tested topics, and that will be the best method for university examinations. Get ready to learn, relearn, unlearn. You will learn something, you will forget, get ready to relearn it again. But there may be unlearning sessions. What I mean by that? Well, HbA1c. HbA1c is a very important modality in the management of diabetes. It is actually the amount of glycated hemoglobin. That's a very good parameter in diabetes management. And in my textbooks, I have read that HbA1c is one of the best parameters to look for in diabetes. But you know what? HbA1c is getting replaced. HbA1c is getting irrelevant now. Why? Because a new parameter have been added, time in range. So medicine is like that. It keeps on evolving. You cannot learn something and expect it to be the same way till end of the world. No, that is not how medicine works. So be ready to unlearn things. Stop comparing yourself to others. Now this is something almost all the students do. The major reason for our insecurities is that we compare ourselves to others. That's very bad. Never ever compare your behind the scenes with someone else's highlight reel. What does that mean? You are behind the scenes and their trailer. Don't compare them. Like you're at level 1 and your friend is at level 10. And you're comparing your level 1 with your level 10 of your friend. No, don't do that. No. You can compare with what you were yesterday. Just try to be better than what you were yesterday, and that's enough. Comparing yourself to others is the major reason of the insecurities that we face in medicine. Not in medicine, in any science or any college or any branch you take. So please stop comparing yourself to others. Don't do that. Now talking about PG preparation. The next is coming. I have did a video on next. You can find it in the description. But the thing is, next is a new exam. It is something new than the Neet PG. So actually we lose a year of preparation. So you write the entrance examination in the final year. So a lot of PG preparing institutions may come to you telling that take the app now, you have to start now. Well, in my opinion, at least till the middle of first year, or at least at the brink of first year, at the end of first year, just try not to take any apps. The reason for that is, you need to learn to read the textbooks. When you have an app that tells you or teaches you everything, we will never touch our textbooks. And you know what? When we don't touch our textbooks, we miss the biggest quality that we need to have in first year. That is the biggest quality that you need to have in first year is the ability to read the textbooks. So when you buy an app like Mero or Prepladder or Bhatia or DAMS, whatever, you lose the ability to read. You lose the interest to read, because when you read half an hour, and all those things you read half an hour will be easily available in a 10-minute video. But all these apps and all, they will only be present in your UG. When you become a PG or when you go for post-graduation, there will be no one to help you except you. So you need to have that quality of reading the textbooks and then understanding from it, making a note out of it, revise it, learn it. So in my opinion, in first year, I will not recommend any PG app at least till the middle of first year. Okay? Or make a promise to yourself that even if I buy the app, I will read textbooks. If that is okay, then any app is good. So before I finish this video, I need to tell you a very important thing. Your first year performance, your academic performance, your memory power, your ability to recall, or how fast you're forgetting things, they are not in any sense a reflection of how successful a doctor you can be. Some students make the mistake of telling that, oh man, first year is so tough, I cannot be a good doctor. That's wrong. Your performance in first year is not a reflection of how good a doctor you can be. And first year is a little hectic because this is something new for you. So that's why I said in the initial days of the college, try to understand the college rather than stressing too much about studies. So I repeat again, your academic performance in the first year is not a reflection of how good a doctor you can be. In fact, not first year, not even second year, or even third year, or even final year is not a reflection of how good a doctor you can be. How good a doctor you can be is a reflection of what you do in your clinics. That is, when you become an intern, when you become a house surgeon, that's when you see the patients full time. That's when you become a doctor. So don't stress out too much and say that, oh man, first year is so hard for me, I cannot be a good doctor. That's wrong. Don't think that. So thank you for being here. And if this video was of any help to you, let me know in the comments. And I have one request to you. If this video helped you, please consider sharing this with your friends. That can help a lot. And if you enjoyed, like the video and subscribe to the channel for more. Thank you. Take care.